And so what he did was he went around the world forging alliances and doling out largesse to buy up the support of dozens and dozens of football officials across Asia and Africa in particular. He traveled to the Bahamas, he traveled to Cape Town, he traveled to Tokyo, he traveled to South Korea, and he would lavish them with spending money and private cruises and stays in five-star hotels and incredible meals.
Campaign very hard to win the right to host the World Cup because it is the biggest event in terms of sports in the world.
Why do people care about football? Like, what is exciting about football? And when I started to realize just how corrupt world football really was, that's when I got interested.
We met the source in a London hotel, and they were keen for us to go ahead, but there were conditions. They weren't just going to hand the information over to us. It was too sensitive, which meant that we couldn't have them in our office, and we had to go a long way outside London and view them on the computers belonging to the source.
Sepp Blatter is the twinkly-eyed, grandfatherly, white-haired overlord of world football, a man who's cultivated this kind of avuncular image, but who actually is a rapacious power broker.
Back in 2010, somebody had told us that there was corruption in the bidding for the two World Cups, which were 2018 and 2022. And what was extraordinary about this was just how open everyone was about the culture of bribery.
And so what he did was he went around the world forging alliances and doling out largesse to buy up the support of dozens and dozens of football officials across Asia and Africa in particular. He traveled to the Bahamas, he traveled to Cape Town, he traveled to Tokyo, he traveled to South Korea, and he would lavish them with spending money and private cruises and stays in five-star hotels and incredible meals. And he would meet with them and ask them about things they needed and talk to them about the Qatar World Cup bid. And we could see that there were then these very intense flurries of activity in the Chemco accounts directly following those meetings.
Kind of when you watch movies, you think of bribery and corruption like, you know, underground, in a tunnel, somewhere. So I remember being just very shocked, like not sure what was really happening. And I remember on the second or third time that this was repeating itself, I just started laughing hysterically because it was obviously at that point I understood what was happening, that this was bribes. There was hacking into my Gmail accounts, into my Facebook. I started getting threatening emails about my children, so I was very scared. This is the richest sporting organization in the world and the richest country in the world. And I know there were no limits.